Hey, welcome. So, today we're going to dig into a really powerful idea, one that asks a huge question: your money or your life? And how you answer that, well, it could completely flip the script on how you think about your job, your money, and maybe most importantly, all the time you have.
You know this drill, right? The alarm goes off and it's like a shock to the system. You're probably scrolling through work emails before your feet have even hit the floor. From there, it's just this frantic race against the clock. Shower, get dressed, grab something to eat, and dive headfirst into the morning commute. And then you get to the main event, the workday, which for a lot of us just feels like this blur, you know? A constant stream of emails, meetings about meetings, deadlines breathing down your neck, all while you're just kind of staring at the clock, just willing the hands to move a little bit faster. Finally, you get to go home. You fight through traffic again, throw together a quick dinner, and then just collapse on the couch. You've got just enough energy to zone out to some Netflix, maybe fire off one last email you forgot about, and then it's off to bed, just to wake up and do it all over again. Sound familiar? You know, that whole cycle, it really brings to mind that old dramatic demand from classic movies, right? Like, if a robber literally held you up and said, your money or your life, I mean, the choice is obvious. You'd throw them your wallet in a second. But here's the crazy part. So many of us, day in and day out, are accidentally choosing the money over the life.
And this is the entire point of what we're talking about today. What if that's a false choice? What if this whole one or the other thing is a trap? And what if there's a way to completely reframe your thinking so that you can actually have both? Okay, so this whole transformation, it starts right here, in your head. We're talking about a massive shift in your money mindset. And look, this isn't about finding new budgeting apps or clipping coupons. This is about changing the very rules of the game for how you think about earning and spending.
All right, so what's the deal with this number? Well, it's pretty fascinating. Researchers who study this stuff, the connection between money and actual happiness, they found that once your basic needs are met, once you have enough, making more money doesn't really make you any happier. And right now, that enough point is estimated to be somewhere around $75,000 a year.
And this idea is perfectly captured in something called the fulfillment curve. See, when you're starting out, every dollar you spend on survival and basic comforts brings a huge jump in happiness. But then, the curve starts to flatten out. You buy more stuff, but you're not getting much happier. And if you keep going, you actually hit this downward slope where more stuff just adds more complexity and stress to your life. The absolute peak of that curve, that sweet spot, that's the point of enough. And this quote just nails why that curve flattens. Because so often, the things we truly need deep down as humans can't be bought. We think we want a new car, but what we're really after is a feeling of freedom. We think we want expensive clothes, but what we're really craving is respect or admiration. We're chasing the wrong thing. So this brings us to a choice, a real matrix moment for your entire perspective on money. You can take the blue pill, keep on going as you are, and believe whatever you want about your finances, or you can take the red pill, and we can see just how deep this rabbit hole really goes. And that red pill? It's a completely new definition of money.
And here it is. The big truth. Your real currency, the only one you truly have, isn't dollars or pounds, it's your life energy. It's the hours of your life, hours you can never, ever get back, that you trade for the money in your bank account. And once you see it this way, you can never unsee it. Every time you spend money, you're really spending a piece of your life.
So when you start thinking in terms of life energy, the real cost of things just becomes mind-blowing. That shiny new car isn't just a big price tag. It's more than 700 days of your life spent working. That fun night out, that might be 2 full days of your life energy. Once you see it this way, every single purchase forces you to ask a very real question. Is this really worth trading my life for? Okay, let's move on. Now that we have this powerful concept of life energy, it's time for a little financial checkup. And this is all about getting crystal clear on where you stand right now. No judgment, no shame, just the honest truth. So, we all pretty much think we know our hourly wage, right? It's right there on our contract or pay stub. But there is a massive, and I mean massive, gap between that number, the stated wage, and your true hourly wage, which is what you're actually pocketing after all the hidden costs of just having a job. Because think about it, it's never just the 40 hours you're at your desk. You have to add in all the extra time and money your job sucks out of you, the commute back and forth, the special clothes you have to buy for work, your costuming. And what about that time you need when you get home just to decompress and feel like a person again? All that time gets added, and all those extra costs get subtracted. So let's just use an example of an average worker, okay? Let's say their salary works out to a stated hourly wage of $16.50. On paper, that sounds, well, it sounds pretty reasonable, doesn't it? But when you subtract all those hidden costs and you add in all those hidden hours, and then you take out taxes, that true hourly wage absolutely plummets. In this example, down to just $4.50. That is the amount of life energy you are actually trading for 1 hour of your time. Just let that sink in for a second. Whew. Okay, that was the tough part, the hard truth. Now we get to the really empowering stuff. This section is all about taking that new awareness and turning it into a clear, visual roadmap to freedom. It is time to chart your course. And the tool for this is so simple, it's almost funny. A big wall chart. Seriously, stick it up somewhere you'll see it every day. And each month, you just plot 2 little dots, one for your total income and one for your total expenses. And you connect the lines. The simple act of seeing it every day makes you more aware. And you know what? Most people find their expenses just naturally start to go down. Now, as you keep tracking, a gap is going to start growing between your income line and your expense line. And that gap, that's your savings. That's your ticket to freedom, because that money allows you to add a third kind of magical line to your chart, investment income. This is money that your money earns all by itself, without you having to trade a single second of your life energy for it. And this, my friends, brings us to the grand finale, the ultimate goal you're aiming for on that chart, the crossover point. This is that beautiful, incredible moment when your investment income line, that third line, finally crosses above your monthly expenses line. The second that happens, you are financially independent. Work is now something you choose to do, not something you have to do. So we have been on quite a journey here, haven't we? We went from the daily grind to redefining our money as our life, and all the way to charting a visual path to complete financial freedom. So let's wrap this all up. If you're going to take anything away from this, let it be these 5 steps. First, figure out what enough actually looks like for you so you can get off the treadmill. Make peace with your financial past. Then do the math and figure out your true hourly wage. Ingrain this idea in your brain that money is just a symbol for your life energy. And finally, get that chart on the wall and start tracking your way to the crossover point. Because ultimately, that's what this is all about. When you follow these steps, you fundamentally change the game. You're not just managing money anymore, you're managing your life. So the next time you're faced with that age-old question, your money or your life, you'll have the power and the plan to smile and say, you know what? I'll take both. Thank you.